while, then it
Maybe
wiped out the wire that we had.
Maybe
we had
you
submersible wire.
Maybe you describe what the aerators do.
The aerators mix the pond and provide oxygen.
And it's not doing.
Well, it is getting air in there, so it's a problem.
By osmosis.
Well.
So, Everett, how do you propose to handle the delay? Are you going to inform them that we're in delay, and are you going to?
Well, the ROWD, the operation. Well, you want for which things?
What you just asked, the maintenance report on the aerators.
Well, that's not. That's not. The aerators are part of a scheduled, 5, 10, 15. And that's in the 5-year plan. The aerator
The
replacement.
report that's due tomorrow. When do you propose to have that?
Well, that's not a report. It's a maintenance.
Whatever you call it. When are you going to have it done?
It's already done. I can fax it to them, email it to them. All I gotta do is open up the ROWD, pull out that section, and hand it to them again.
My suggestion is do it before the end of tomorrow because it's required.
Then it will be done.
Excuse me, what makes the water look like milk when you wash your kitchen?
That's air in the water.
It's all the time and you can't get it off your windows or anything.
Well, whereabouts is it?
McMillan Drive.
McMillan Drive. At the end or in the middle or where?
We're the first one.
Oh, okay, the first one.
Wash your vehicles, it just looks like
Right.
milk over there.
Well, what air in the water turns the water milky? If you put it like in a glass and set it down, you'll notice that all the air will just start coming to the top, and the milky will just go away, and it's air entrained in the line.
What causes that?
Yeah.
It can be from speed of water growing. In other words, if there's a tee there, the haulers are pulling off that tee, and if the water is running by there, it's just like having a pump and it entrains the air. It pulls a vacuum in there and pulls air bubbles in.
So the haulers are possibly causing that?
It could be that, or it could be just it could be something. I don't know if you have irrigation or
leaking pipe stuck in the air.
No, it's not going to have leaking pipe. Well, I mean that would put water out. That wouldn't suck air in.
The air is part of the hammering problem because in my house, when we have partial pressures, the pipes hammer.
Yeah. Car wash. Milky over there on the top here.
I have a question for you and the board. Just kind of sitting back here listening. Sounds like,
Nobody.
my question is, I haven't heard one positive thing about the district accepting from outside haulers to the sewage treatment plant. Haven't heard anything positive about the water being sold out of the district. Can you tell me why we're doing this? What the advantages to the people within the district to be accepting the outside sewage as well as the selling water outside?
The sewage, like I said, we're next month we'll have a report on that. But it was making money for the district. I mean, bottom line, it was paying the bills. The water outside, we probably over 1/2 of all the square area that we serve is out of district services. And this, it started, I mean, this is all the way back, from the 60s onward it started happening. So, I mean, but we have, I mean, you're specifically probably asking about the Indians, but what I'm saying is that we've had customers outside for all along.
Yeah, they higher rate.
They started to, but then that got shut down for some reason, way before my time.
It's been quite some time since I've been involved with any of the district things, but I can recall 15 years ago when I was trying to get some water hookups and I was in the district. And is it correct that my understanding is if you're within the district that you're actually taxed more on your property than somebody outside the district?
Only for sewer, not the water, no. We don't have a sewer bond. We have a water bond, I'm sorry, we have a sewer bond.
And what is the incentive? And this has been quite some time ago. I know there was a couple of people that asked to have hookups. And the requirement at that point was that they be annexed into the district. This is water hookups.
Right.
And my understanding was the reason that the district at that time wanted them to annex into the district was that there was some sort of tax money available by annexing in.
It would only be if they were wanting sewer hookups. And it might be that the county required them to have water and sewer, or they didn't perk or whatever in the ground. Or,
And this was just for water at that time. It was a requirement.
well,
of
I
the
mean,
district.
there isn't because nobody's taxed on, I mean, look at your tax bill and you'll see it's a 1960 something sewer bond for when they built the original sewer plant. And that's the only thing that's on your taxes. Everything else is strictly fee-based.
I have a question. How, the people that pays water and sewer in the district is not enough to support the district?
Yeah.
It is. Because my dad and myself have been paying for water and sewer for 50 years on one piece of property over there that we have, and we don't even have sewer.
There's a lot of people who have hookups, I mean, for over 10 years. And then probably what happens is that they buy it because they, you know, their moratorium may be coming on, or you think you're going to, a lot of people buy it because they think they're going to develop it, and then they get sick, or somebody gets sick, or they inherit it, and they just keep paying the monthly standby fee. You don't have to, I mean, you know, it.
Well, we've been paying the sewer hookup, and
Right.
we don't even have a sewer meter or anything.
Right. Well, there is no meter for sewer, it's just, if you want to hook up, you can. Because you've already bought the hookup, so you can, if you're not using it, then there's really no need for you to have it. I mean, if you're never gonna hook it up.
But if you give it up, you lose it, is that?
Well, you lose, yeah, I mean, you know, and then somebody else can buy, I mean, not necessarily you can't, if you decide later, oh, I want to build a mother-in-law unit or subdivide my property or hook your house up to it because my septic tank failed, then, you
No,
you may not have it.
I'm on city sewer and water. And so,
Oh, okay, well, yeah.
and so is my parents.
Oh, okay.
But the property out in front of our house, my mom and
Oh, you
dad,
have a separate parcel?
Mhm.
Oh, okay, yeah,
that we've been paying for
sure,
50 years.
yeah. That's a long time.
Never developed.
You went past your break-even point on the feasibility for keeping it.
Well,
but,
I was just wondering how many people in the district, can the people in the district supply everything the water district needs? Is there enough paying people?
Well, that's what, yeah, I mean, that's how it has to be. You divide your expenses into the
Then how did we sort of
base.
go in the hole and have to haul this?
Because you don't raise the rates after so long and everything else goes up and you start replacing things, but you're not having the money come in because the money, you know, like every year, what they recommend is every year, a couple of years, you give a little raise over time and then everything's fine. But what happens is it gets, you know, it just takes a long, you go 5, 10, 15 years, everybody's used to paying $5, you know, a month for a hook, which, you know, I mean, we got to put down 9 or 10, you know, or 14, which is pretty darn low, and all of a sudden, then when it got doubled, everybody had a heart attack. But I mean, you know, it was artificially low for a long time. And it just, you know, it's hard to get people to agree to pay more money. So that's some of it right there. You have resistance to raising the rates.
Well, basically, because we got 3 to 12, you just, if you didn't have the outside source to support it, you would have to raise the rates and.
Right. Well, now we've raised the rate, sewer rates, so I mean, we don't really need that revenue. Because we raised the rates with the intention that the state was going to force us to stop accepting dollars because it's just going to make it too expensive. And I think that's what's going to happen. I mean, at some point in the future, we're going to have to cut them off. But it may be sooner than we